we doing? Are you ready? Shout outs to everybody that was here for the late night stream. Is everybody caught up? Let's go! Previously on KIMBA TV. Let's say it goes to 137. Bro, if it does some goofy and like dang, oh my god, bro. We got Sando, Verafo, Rexen, good morning. JV, good morning. 83, good morning. Cyrebe, Daruma, Barish, Basha, Kachoy, RG, Bargy. All right, you guys good to go? Let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, CPI is coming out in 4 minutes. Let's get it. Colin, let's go. Nitrogen, let's go. Nitrogen is asking what you think about BTC and anything for orders. Yeah, just watch yesterday's stream. So exclamation YouTube, brother. Watch yesterday's stream. I gave pixel perfect entries. You don't want to show up the day of asking what the plan is. Yeah, you're most likely going to get banned, Nitrogen. But since you're new, you should be okay. But yeah, we'll just watch that. I gave entries yesterday and on Friday. That means that you haven't really cared. It's all good, Nitrogen. And then I showed up yesterday late Friday as well. That means that you haven't really. So go to. I was here around midnight last night, around 1 o'clock in the morning last night. So you can get caught up. We planned everything out yesterday. Okay, go to rewind the 24/7 stream, this one, and go back to around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, but what we like to do, Nitrogen, is we like to identify levels to the downside and levels to the upside, and we're just going to be looking at data to see if it's bullish or bearish at that level. So watch, Nitrogen. I'm going to get pixel perfect bottom.
This trade with you, I'm trying to take this trade with you, I'm trying to
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Kachaya! Logo! Let's go! Get it! Get it! Get it! Get it! Juice it up! Ho! Juice it up! Ho! Let's go! Juice! 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 Kachaya! Go! 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 Juicy fruit chat! Juicy fruit chat! Easy money! Let's go!
Side by side, sweeping lows with your best fam. We be stacking dibs.
Juicy fruit, let's get it, chat.
I was locking in for my squad.
Do it, do it, do it, do it. You know what it is. Zero Sum says, bro, my entry is 115946. Nice. Didn't get filled as many as I would like. I am possibly thinking of adding a bit more. If it starts holding over 117, is that a bad idea? What I would recommend that you do, Zero Sum, is try to even be ahead of that scenario. If you go back and listen to my plan A, plan B, and plan C, I actually go over the scenario where you don't get the whole box. First off, you need to have been watching me to understand what that top level is and what that bottom level is, right? What is this and what is this, right? So, like, if you understand that that's fibception, like all we did was this, right? So We were aiming between the 0.5 and we included all the way to the 7.5. But it was really like anything, you know, really between 382 and golden pocket is really the meat. So we included the 0.5. We probably could have included the 382, but that's, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda type of shit. So all of this, like, is what you want. And then if you're gonna chase, you should have chased all of this. Because if it gets rejected off of VWAP again, you probably want to maybe wait for a third drive. Maybe you can get away with a trident. But either way, just try to think about all those situations where you always have to chase the 7.5 or a golden pocket and end up not getting it. So that level isn't too bad, zero sum. But now that we have hit and potentially we might be rejecting off of VWAP, I would be careful. Instead of getting filled, I'm going to be hoping I don't get stopped out in tiny profit. 117, 100. Yeah. If you're going to chase or add a long, anything up to here, any pullback to here is fine. And your invalidation is that anyways. But I think that gets cleaned if it's going to be a strong rejection off of this. 886, you don't want to get rejected off of 886. So bullish would be this. And you're going to have to be forced to take this. And most people won't, and then they'll really get fucked and left behind type of shit. But that's what I was trying to kind of help you guys avoid with the plan B, plan C, plan D shit yesterday. But yeah, like I didn't get the full size that I wanted, but I'm happy with it. So yeah, I think it's okay. Alpeasy says, Kimba, I got filled on a third. Feel undersized? What do you think about compounding on the bullish retest of VWAP 7.5? Sure, all that is valid. All that is valid. And would it be fair to say that you actually had the opportunity to plan how you wanted to chase before it happened today anyways? So even the chasing part, the adding part, I would just execute whatever you prepared and planned. If you go back and take a look, I already had this is how far and where I would chase it up to. Do you remember? I already executed my chase, just like how we talked about it last night. So I'm pretty sure I made it very clear. Like if you're gonna try to chase, you need to get it in before the 1066. So yeah, if your question is, my position size isn't that great, I want to add, or I want to do this, or I would refer back to like whatever your planning was. Ayo Gain says, I'm doing this for my daughter, my mother, family, my future. We believe. That's beautiful, man. I always tell people, you got to do it for other people. You're going to quit on you. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'll quit on myself. I'm honest. Like, I don't really care about myself. I'm pretty self-destructive. But I'll never, ever quit on somebody that I care about. So, yeah, it's easier for me to, like, do it for other people. No doubt. Wait. Stop the music. Who's just said that? Flinger. Okay, Flinger. Flinger says, it looks like it's going to come and retest the low end double bottom. I based that on the math exercise. Sure, yeah, and I think you were here for it, but do you remember, it's crazy, right? We actually drew this. Dink, 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 dink. This is from last night. We actually drew this for it to bounce from here, clean it today, get back up there again, get rejected again. That's why I was drawing that line like that. Do you remember what we were talking about in terms of what kind of highs that we would want to see for this to be probable? Pop quiz. So there is going to be something that you're going to be able to see up here, okay, right here, that will tell you, hey, we're going to do this, or it'll tell you, hey, we might be getting this. Yeah, so, you know, keep an eye on structure right here. That'll eliminate 2 out of the 5 hypothetical scenarios that could still play out right now. And then you would only have 3 left. Okay. Yeah, but think about, like, you know, what would a trident be right now? What are some of the things that you remember from previous tridents? What would make it a higher probability for a trident? What would lower the probability of a trident? All right, because I always want you to be thinking about worst case scenario. I don't know if you already have a long, but you know, you should be thinking about, okay, this could happen and stop me out. This could happen and round trip me. This could happen and force me to re-enter. I gotta make these things bigger. Louder. Okay, ask a question from Mosley. Let's say we go to the basement. How many candle closes do you tolerate inside the ETH gap? And do you think it matters how deep it wicks inside? It won't matter how deep it wicks inside. Shout out Mosley. It won't matter how... Let me just get everything that you asked. Do you tolerate inside? Okay, first question. How many candle closes do you tolerate inside the ETH gap? Do you say 3? And do you think it matters how deep? No. 3 and no. The only thing that would fuck you, Mosley, is if it does it during Macaulay. So preferably, brother, it does it in the next 52 minutes. And if it doesn't, then I don't think you would even want to do it. You don't want to do it during Macaulay, and you don't want to do it during ETH. So it either does it now, or it's going to just leave it like that, Mosley. 52 minutes. Let's see it together. But Mosley, though, you remember what we were talking about, and we were kind of joking but not joking about, brother, we need to get in these longs, even if it looks like it's a shitty low. So the shitty low thing should never be a reason to wait to take the long. We already kind of concluded that. So rather, the shitty low should tell you, hey, put my stop loss at break even. So the shitty low tells you how urgently you need to put your stop loss at break even, but it doesn't mean you should wait for it to get cleaned to take the long. Because there's a very good chance you're going to miss the long if you do that. Now, if you have longs from lower and this isn't that big of a deal and you rather 114 or 111, then sure. And I want to see if S&P loses golden pocket in the next 52 minutes. I would assume we will. since buying pressure did not kick in one bit. But yeah, that's what I will be. Let's see where everything closes in 49 minutes. You guys good? Mosley says, yep, I kind of don't want to rush into anything and then actually goes clean it though. Yeah. Mosley, have fun with it, man. First off, it's a Tuesday and it's CPI. So don't get too crazy on me now. All right. You have levels to the upside. You have levels to the downside. Somebody was asking me earlier in the day about how like you could potentially chase it if it really is going to go beyond and get above the VWAP. And so you can already start thinking about how or where the invalidation is if you're going to chase, through the VWAP. And then 120, 119, that zone is still resistance as well. You see that anchored VWAP up there? Yeah. Yep, so level by level. Are you waiting on a long, Mosley, or are you already in one? I think you should already be in one, but if you're not in one, that's okay. You're going to have to start thinking about VWAP and what your invalidation would be if it gets above. Cyrebe says it went without me. That's okay. You need to be thinking about what you would do if you get lucky with a lower low and what you would do if it leaves. Your job is to be prepared, Cyrebe. Okay? Nobody cares if you actually are bullish or bearish, if you actually have a long or short. Your job is to be prepared. So you really shouldn't. I mean, first off, you're a Lion Cub, so you're doing great, Cyrebe. But what you want to strive towards is the only way that you got left behind is you didn't have a plan B. You didn't have a plan C. So just be prepared. It can still go make a lower low, Cyrebe. How are you going to take that? It might not make a lower low. It might go above VWAP. How would you take that? What would be your invalidation? This isn't going to be the first and last time that you're going to feel like you didn't get everything that you wanted, or you didn't get all the limits filled, or you got round tripped and left behind, or these scenarios are going to happen a lot. So more than hyper focusing on the actual trade itself, I want you to think about the next 50,000 scenarios like this that you're going to have over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. You with me, my guy? I want you to have a protocol in place so when you get in the same situation next week, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, 2 years from now, you know what you want to do or how you're going to go about making your decisions. So let me know, okay? If you have any questions, like specific questions, Cyrebe. Okay? You should have a plan for if it makes a lower low, and you should have a plan if it makes a higher high. And that's your only job. Everything else will take care of itself. Everything I lost in the past couple of days, I made back in one day. Thank you, Kimba. Nice, Korun. I'm never gonna be super enthusiastic when people make hella money or lose hella money in one day or one session or whatever. But that's awesome, Korun. Okay. Now that you made everything back, like, let's not go too crazy, okay? Steady. Mosley says, I took the first sweep tonight, got stopped in profit, now sideline. Got you. So your only two things that you need to worry about, Mosley, is what are you going to do are you going to take the VWAP market smash with the invalidation, this 30-minute candle local low? What are you going to do if it sweeps that low while CME is paused during Macaulay? Would you be taking it? I would. So just think about what you got coming up. In 45 minutes, RTH is going to close, right? In an hour and 45 minutes, CME is going to be paused. In 2 hours and 45 minutes, you may have a CME bearish gap or a bullish gap. You good with all hypotheticals? Let me know if there's something specific you want to talk about. I'm going to be here for 45 more minutes. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to leave, but I'm going to give the stream over to Houston because we have the Liquinia Talent Show. I can chirp in. I've got some meetings and whatnot, but I can chirp in if you need, Mosley. This box, 114, 111, those are the levels to the downside. Cyrebe, I'm with you, bless you. I feel a bit dumb for this. Never. But if it makes a higher high on the 15-minute, I would look to enter on the VWAP middle line. Yes. Invalidation would be under the 115 zone. Invalidation will be this, brother. So if it does something like this, some people are going to use this as invalidation. Some people will use that as invalidation. Yeah, so it's gonna look something like this. Dink, dink, dink. And even then, you still need to be worried about the bigger picture, which is this, brother. Cyrebe, if you go back to last night's stream, I think you were here for this, but just understand that this got defined pretty well. So dank, 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 and then tink, tink, tink could still be in play. So watch for the reaction here. Do you remember when we were talking about that this morning, my guy? Like, everybody is going to individually have different ways to quantify what is what. For me, it might be plus 3%, right? That it's under VWAP. For you, it might be 2%. The number itself doesn't matter. What matters is you have a protocol that you don't, what I don't want you to do, Colin, is do this bullshit like, oh, this feels bearish. Oh, this feels bullish. This smells bad. What the fuck does that mean? Okay? What I want you to do is have protocols that you can rely on, that you say, hey, above here, bullish. Hey, below here, bearish. If this gets above golden pocket, if this goes to the 7.5 and turns it into support, then the probabilities change. Is that a bad low? Is that a poor low? Is there a chance? Is the low finished? Is there a higher chance that it's going to go and clean the low? Or is it a higher chance that the low is done? So the fact that it's a shitty, poor low, weak low, the fact that golden pocket is still resistance, the fact that we're not above VWAP would lead me to think that there's a higher than 50-50 chance that we're going to still go and clean the low. Is that like me making shit up? Or is that something that you might not agree with the 58%, but would you agree with me that it's better than 50-50 chance? I don't even care about what you do specifically. I just don't want you to sit there and fucking guess and tell me that it feels good, it feels bad. As long as you have something that prevents you from doing that goofy, then I don't care what it is that you're doing. Make sense? I just don't want you to get got, Colin. So let's have some sort of protocol that says, let's get it. Boley says, why not 60? Because I think you want to leave the lows like that. And also, RTH is closing in 33 minutes. So if I want the low to get cleaned with RTH, every fucking minute that passes by, right, I'm going to take a little bit off. because the probability of cleaning it during RTH is lower. So, you know, like I would have said 60% 2 hours ago. But now that we only have 33 minutes left to do an RTH sweep, I might be like, ugh. But it's up to you, Bolly. There's no right or wrong. Yeah. Does that help, Colin? I don't care what you do, just don't get got. And I feel like one of the ways that you don't get got is you have a quantifiable way, a measurable way, a repeatable, reliable way to say, this is bullish, this is bearish. That's all I care about. So you don't do some stupid shit. Sounds good? Colin, I'm a random crackhead with Tourette's, okay? I don't want you to put me on a pedestal and think that the way that I'm doing it is the only way or the right way. But what I want you to understand is that I'm not gonna do something illogical. Everything should be backed by logic or data. So if I'm wrong, I can say, hey, this data interpretation was wrong, or I shouldn't prioritize this data as much, or this data isn't as reliable as I thought. But if you take a long or a short because you think or you smell like something is bad, then how can you truly improve if you're wrong? Because on the medium time frame, the structure hasn't changed. You can clearly see that it's still right? So that's what you want. You want to have this so that when you make the third drive, you have something to actually start to clean and target. Right? It's different if it had been a slightly different structure, like something we talked about before, where you actually reach that high, then you might not actually make that 3 drives. That's the invalidation for the 3 drives, right? I don't know. I can't predict the future. I can only just go by basic strategy, you know? But I hope you guys are seeing this with your own eyes. You've seen it dozens and hundreds of times. It's not like you have to take my word for it. Hopefully you've seen it yourselves. You know, if for some reason we get round tripped or stopped out, then I probably will show up. There's also a good chance that if I do get round tripped or stopped out, that I'll show up later tonight. So don't forget that the Twitch stream, the 24/7 YouTube, it's running 24/7. Me or somebody else might pop in. So, love you guys, man. I hope you guys had a good day. Happy CPI Tuesday. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. Help each other out, root for each other. You guys ready for the talent show? You guys ready for the talent show? Give it up for Houston, man. All right, let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. I'm going to be watching too. Lithuania Talent Show in 3, 2, gotcha! Is it going? Oh, it's not going. I got to get logged in. Hold on. I got it. Hold on. Okay, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Try to get Kachaya!